Great. Any other question? Anything that you guys have got questions about before we jump into it?
Do you have the Aldis? Where does it?
Mhm.
Where is the report generated from to then be uploaded into the banking?
So depends. Julie said that you've done it in +2 before.
Yeah,
so
I always do it in +2.
Yeah.
And when
so
you
it's
say,
either,
sorry, go on.
sorry.
When you say, Julie, that Kel gives you the login details, is that to the banking or is that to?
No, that is Kel, so I can access her computer. And
Right.
I can access all the stuff on it to be able to do it.
So first and foremost, we need to find out where the Aldis is generated from.
So we can.
Go on.
The Aldis can be generated from +2 or 360 from the GMC. We won't produce an Aldis today because it's too late for us to do it to collect on this run anyway. We can go through the process so you can actually do one.
That would be handy. Yeah.
Yeah. So with Aldis, we recommend that you do one a week at least, and then the day after you do your EFT run. So today, you'll do another Aldis. So what the Aldis does is, as we said, it sets up the direct debit instruction for your customer, and it also includes any amendments. So if somebody's come to the front of house and changed their bank details, it will include them in that, and the direct debit gets switched to the new bank account and things like that.
Right. And that's once a week. Cool. I'm just making furious notes. Okay, could we go through the process of doing a mock one of those? I mean, is it worth us doing it anyway? Because even if one wasn't done 5 days ago, we need to do one anyway.
You do need to do one. Yeah, we can do a test. Let's do a test of Aldis and a test of EFT, so the direct debit run, and then you can do a live one of each if you want to.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So if you click onto the GMC, please, Gary. So the GMC is the Gladstone Management Console, and the middle option is EFT, or Electronic Funds Transfer. So all of these options are not all used, but the first couple are. So introduction just tells you version and what it is. Process run is where you do the Aldis and you do the EFT. So you do both from that menu. Both are similar processes, but with the EFT run, with the direct debit run, it's important that you get the dates correct. With the Aldis run, you don't have to worry about the dates at all. Again, we'll do a test and a practice on both. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to click onto process run first, please, Gary. Okay. Yeah. So the sites. So if you just click on that drop down menu, so we've got 2 sites there. Do they both get included in the same?
Yes, they do.
They do. Excellent. Yeah. And which one do you usually select on there, Julie?
We don't normally select it. It's normally already set up to do it on +2, but I don't know. I presume it would be Waterside.
Yeah, I'm just going to double check it just so we don't end up creating 2 files, but that's fine because we're doing a test. Let's just select that first one that you're on, and as you're doing that, I'm just going to log into +2. So there you go. It says all sites underneath, so I'm pretty confident that's right. So EFT system is always BaxDD. So in the drop down, there's nothing else there, so it won't let you change it. And the file format that you want is always going to be BAX. So those top 2 menus are always going to be exactly, yeah. So the process, we've got EFT, Electronic Funds Transfer, and if you click on that drop down, there's also Aldis in there as well. And let's go through the Aldis first because it's arguably the more simple one of the 2.
Yep.
The dates that are in there we don't have to worry about. So it's going to run the Aldis for today. So the processing date and sales due cut off, you can leave those as they are. If you were to produce a live run, so tick in that bottom tick box and tick in the perform run, it would generate a live file, and that file would appear in your Gladstone drive, and that's where you download it from, and then you upload it to your back submission software. So with your bank. We're going to do a test one. So if you tick perform run and not the bottom one, so anytime that you tick that produce live file on Audis and EFT, you can only ever do it once. It won't let you turn back the clock. So you just want to make sure that you're ready to do a live one.
Okay.
Yep, if you click process, that's going to do a process for us. So it's going through the steps. So below, in fact, it's just that process run menu that you were on. It's just moved you on to the next one, which is process status. And you can see that you've got a couple in here. So it's in process. It's run number 17, BaxDD Audis for the water side, and it's a test run. If you click on at the top where it says process status, there's a little click here. That's it. Refresh.
Yeah, it's just refreshed, so it says complete.
Perfect. Yeah, so it's completed. So we can have a look to see how many people are included in this on a report, but we haven't got a live file. So just below in the left-hand side there, it says Audis Run Reports. If you click on that, please, Gary.
Would we click Audis Run Report on a live as well?
You can do if you want to see the detail. You don't submit this file. This is just for your records, really, and for your approval. So you can do a test run, see how many people you're expecting on the Audis and on the EFT, and look at figures and things on the EFT. Yeah, so it's always going to select the last one you did. So if you click on there, and then you can show, export to Excel, PDF, etc., and it'll just generate a report for you to view. Okay, so there's how many people are in that file? There's a few, isn't there?
232.
And would that include Waterside, Runnymede?
Yeah, that's everybody.
It will. Okay.
Yeah, so all of those people have got an Audis status of not sent, and that's what would be included in your next Audis. So the file itself, ID is your member ID, name is for the member name, number is your account number, sort code, reference is
why is there only 200 in there? Why is there not like 5,200?
Because you only send the Audis once for each member. So once it's been set up, so for you, Josh, if you joined 2 months ago, you'd have had an Audis status of sent 2 months ago, and it'll just keep collecting on that same reference.
Right. Okay.
So this is all the new people in the last week or changes to membership types.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Right. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
That reference is what the bank uses to set it up. So
and all that is their membership number with the CIO in front of it.
Yeah, in a lot of cases it is. Sometimes when you've imported members, it'll be slightly different. But yeah, generally it's just the member ID on there.
Yeah.
So that's it. That report, you can keep it or close it. It's up to you.
So Julie, from this report, does this all look like the one that you've run previously?
Yeah.
Perfect. So from here, you would be able to run the Audis.
You just we just need to send it to the bank, and then
Perfect.
But you do that through Paygate and all that.
Okay.
So that's the process. Obviously, the only step we missed out was ticking the produce live file. When you tick that box, then the actual file that you send to the bank gets automatically sent to your Gladstone drive. I'll show you how to log into that in a minute, and you can retrieve the file from there. That's the one that you send. It's a .text file. It's nothing like an Excel file.
Right. Okay.
So that's the test run, but it is exactly the same for the live. So if you go back to process run, Gary, we'll do a test EFT run. So yeah, if you want to choose the same. So again, it says all sites, so it's going to be for all sites. Now, the dates are the more important things here. So you've got a sales due cutoff and a processing date. The sales due cutoff is going to be the day that you're collecting for. So is yours the 15th?
Yeah.
Sales. Yeah. Sorry, let me write that down. So sales due cut off is the direct debit date.
Yeah, the 15th.
So we would want to go 15th. And would you set that to the 15th as well?
No. So the processing date is the day, the last working day before your sales due cutoff. So it would be the 14th for this one. Next month it might be slightly different, or it will be different. So next month you've got the 15th is a Tuesday, so it would be Monday the 14th.
So it's the working. So is it the working day before the sales cut-off date?
Yeah, the last working day.
So if it falls on a weekend, it'll be the Friday.
Exactly. If it's a bank holiday on a Monday, then it would fall again back to that Friday before. So it's always going to be the bank working day.
Understood.
Okay. Standard account is fine. You can tick perform.
That's the 14th of April you got to put in there, Galen, yeah?
No, March. So we want to put in this one is, so the money wants to be collected on the 15th. It will then be collected on the 17th because that's the next working day, but we need to process it on the 14th, which is the working day before the 15th. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. Perfect.
Standard accounts, right? Perform run, roll subscriptions forward, and failed collection run report are all we're going to tick to do the test. But then again, when we do the live one, we'll tick the live file.
So all 4 of those boxes will be ticked on a live run.
Yep, on a live run, but just the top 3 for a test. And generally, you'd want to do a test to see what you're going to be collecting. A lot of customers, just through, I suppose, time pressures, will do a test the day of the run. Whereas if I was doing it, I might do it a day or two before, do the test run a day or two before, and you're able then to see any discrepancies. Are people not being collected for some reason, and you can make changes on the system before you do the EFT. So are people on the correct price? Are they on the correct price level?
We do that exercise once a month, don't we, Julie, in terms of the movers?
Well, twice a month. We do the 1st and the 15th, don't we?
Yeah. So actually, by the time that's done, this report should be accurate and ready to go.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So yeah, if you want to click process, Gary, we can have a look at another report to see what you're collecting. So this one takes a bit longer. There's 5 steps. You can click on that little click here, refresh button thing, and it'll update the process. It usually takes about 5 minutes for it to run through. How many members have you got?
5,000, probably about 5,400, including some really odd little legacy ones. Is that about right, Julie?
Yeah, it is, but there won't be as many today because it's only the 15th.
Yeah.
It's not as many people on the 15th.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So normally you would just do this, i.e. tomorrow, then you would just do this tomorrow and then run it again. I got that right?
It is always best to do the pretend run, because then if there's anything where the money's not the right, where it's not the right, and it's trying to pick 2 memberships up or something like that, then this is when you can see it.
And otherwise, would you normally check that, Julie?
Yeah, Kel checks that. I don't do this bit. Kel does this bit.
All right. So after that,
and then sometimes she just shouts out, Julie, can you have a look at this one? And then I have a look at it, and then she alters it.
So what day would this normally? You would normally do this on the day before, if the test run looks all good.
If the test run's all good, yeah. I mean, Kel always does it a couple of days before, just in case there's any problems.
Yeah. Right. Brilliant. That's what I'd do if I was doing it.
So we're going to do this tomorrow then, realistically, or Thursday?
Tomorrow, I would imagine.
Yeah, I suppose, tomorrow.
Also, we haven't been able to get the cancelled direct debits off of the bank. You know, when we do that as well, the people that have cancelled.
Yeah,
we've
the
not
rejections.
been able to take them off. Yeah, we've not been able to do the rejections either.
Right. And that's because the person's not at work.
Yeah.
Who usually does it. Okay. So we can, again, you'd need access to your back submission software, but we can go through that process as well. If you want.
Yeah, I think Lance, our head of finance, is getting us an additional card so that we can do it. Because I think Claire Clark, I don't think anyone at the council, Julie, it seems, has got access. It was
Oh, right, okay.
it was Kelly, and that was it. So they've requested another card through Lloyd's.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get that in a day or so.
Yeah. We also do another report though that goes that if somebody cancels their direct debit throughout the month, then Kel usually prints them off, and then I can cancel them before we get to this process.
Yeah. So the rejections, do they come through on a daily basis or a weekly basis?
Yeah, she does try and do them on a daily basis, or it's every couple of days, just so we can keep on top of it.
Yeah. So there's three different types of rejections that you'll get. All of them will come through to your back submission software, and you can put them onto via the Gladstone drive. You can put them onto +2 and process them. Do you use the wizards, Julie, to process the rejections?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just have a look.
So what are the three types of rejections, please?
Yeah, ADAX, ARID, and AUDIS.
Sorry, one more time. I was going to write those down. Sorry.
Yeah. ADAX.
Yep.
ARID.
Yep.
And AUDIS.
And do you know what each of those? I'm assuming each of those have a different reason.
So the different processes. Should we get onto that sort of subject when we look at and I'll bring up some information that I can send over as well.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Right, so if you click refresh, we're on step 4. That should be almost there. Still in progress. So I'm just checking your site just to see how it's set up on +2. Yeah. So I can see that the last batch of rejections were processed, so there's nothing pending. But I'll show you how to upload the files. Brilliant. So for this one, to view the reports, we've got two options. We've got a collection run report and collection run analysis report. And it's worth opening both of them up or creating each of the Excel spreadsheets to look at. So it's done in the same way, Gary. So
the collection run report and then the collection run analysis
report. Yeah.
Okay, so if I have a look at collection run report, Ward side, and then I've got this one, which was today, export export to Excel.
That's the one. So this is just a full list of all of the DDs that are going to come out. So start with member ID, name, the date, so the 15th, the amount, and if you scroll to the bottom, there's a full amount at the bottom. So that's what you're expecting to collect for this run.
Okay.
Yep.
So shall I have a look at the analysis?
Yeah, the analysis report's a bit more useful, to be honest, because it breaks down all of your subscriptions. So what you're going to collect for each type of subscription that you've got.
Okay.
So some should be the same, but it just breaks it down for you.
Yeah, that's handy. So I'm assuming for the actual then direct debit run, Julie, you would have previously used this report?
Yeah, Kel uses that report.
Okay.
Because then you can see if there's any discrepancies. I mean, some of them will have double because we're picking refer to payers up that we take 2 payments for. But other than that, they should be the normal subscription prices.
Yeah.
So what would she normally do? She'd just go through and sort of manually cast her eye over to see if any.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find any. So, gosh.
First, there's a lot more, but with this, there's not a half as many. Well, it's hardly.
So if we look at that one, that one, that one, that one, that one.
Yeah.
We would assume that these
are your refer to payers.
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And then is that the file? Have you done the direct debit run before?
I haven't, no.
Okay. So would we use that file, or would it be actually when we do the proper run, would it be a text file again?
Yeah. Excel's nothing to do. So it'd be a text file that would go through. Yeah.
Okay. So the missing link here is how we take that file and upload it to our payment software.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So did you say you're going to get that tomorrow, the login?
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Yeah. So I don't know what's best to do here. So if we create a live file, as I said, you can only do it once, and if you don't get a login,
I think the live file was going over to Lance tomorrow, wasn't it? Unless that's been changed.
Don't know.
That's what I thought was happening, but it might have changed.
I'm just going to find out.
Say that again. If we create a live file now, you just say you can't create another one. Is that what you just said?
No, that's it. You can only create one, and the processing date is the key thing. So if let's say we created it today, but you didn't get the login until, I don't know, Monday, but at the latest. So we're past the processing date, then the file wouldn't work automatically. Right. So I don't know if it's best to maybe us jump on a call tomorrow again and do the live run tomorrow, rather than doing it now without a clear plan of how you're going to submit it.
Can you submit an Aldis and a EFT in one day?
You can. The Aldis won't have any effect on that. So that Aldis won't come into effect 5 days after. And that's only because of our system. Our system gives a 5-day buffer.
Is there any way to speed it up on, or like just with this occasion, or is it sort of like no, it's just waiting?
We can cheat the system and say yes, you can do the Aldis, but because the file physically hasn't been sent to the bank are not going to expect those instructions, so you'll just get 200 rejections for the ones that you've got the Aldis status waiting. So in this instance, it doesn't help you to sort of amend the date, unfortunately.
I think in this scenario, what we'll have to do is email or write to those customers to say that there was an issue with setting up your direct debit. Can we do it on the 1st, or we will need to you'll have to come into centre and pay, or we'll have to take 2 next month.
Mm-hmm. So
can you just do another run though? Why can't you just do another run?
Well, you have to. So if with
an additional run.
Yeah, so with Bax rules, you've got to notify your customer. It's usually 10 days. You may have a different setup, but it's usually 10 days you have to give notice to your customer that you're collecting a different amount, or you're collecting the same amount on a different date. So you have to give them 10 days notice, which is what, Gary, that's what you're sort of saying there.
Yeah.
Because if, let's say we were able to produce the Aldis file today and send it, 5 days time, we could then do a run, but you're not within that 10-day period. notice period, so you wouldn't be able to do that, unfortunately. There's no way around it for those 200 people without notifying them and getting permission to do an early run or collect on the first or double on the next one.
Okay. Well,
the thing is though, as soon as they owe, because what happens is then the rejection comes back, and then there'll be a debt on their account, and as soon as they owe, they won't be able to book. So get in touch with the centre anyway, and then we can go forward with that. That's that piece of work I was showing you this morning.
Yeah. So the other option you've got is, again, Gary, I think you just said it. You could change the debt or the subscription fee for those 200 people to a cash debt and let them pay that off at the front of house or online on the Go account if you use Gladstone Go. But we just have to do a bit of work in the background to change those debts to cash. That's the other option.
Yeah, I think if we at least notify them, we've done our, we're really sorry, we can't collect, please come into centre, or, because if people go to book and they can't, they're going to get pissed if we haven't. To be honest,
it's not going to affect lots of people because the 15th isn't that big.
We're lucky this has happened on the 15th. You're right.
And it's only the people that have joined within this week that have joined from Thursday to today.
Yeah.
They're the people that are on the 15th. They're the people that it's going to affect.
So I've just had notification that the file is being sent to Lance and he's going to process it. I've just tried to get Lance, who's the head of finance, on a call, but he's away from his desk. So I don't want to run it.
The best thing would be do it tomorrow.
Yeah, totally.
And set the timing out with Lance previously, and then do it tomorrow, and then it's all done under one umbrella, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want me to, because we're recording, do you want me to just show you the second bit where you collect the file from?
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll pinch the screen from you, Gary. So once you've done a live run, again, do you know Josh, Gary, or Julie? Have you got access to the Gladstone Drive, like a login for it?
No.
I haven't. Okay. I know Kel has, but I don't know what it is.
No worries. So what we'll do is we'll have to get one of you access to it so you can collect the file. So
I'm assuming it's a bit like Google Drive. It's a cloud-based drive that the system exports into. It has to be done that way because it's got sensitive data.
Exactly. Is this what it looks like? This screen here, what you're looking at now, obviously, it wouldn't look any different to us.
Yeah. No, well, yours is probably going to be a bit tidier now as we've got a load of different files. But
I think I have got access.
Okay, brilliant. If you have, Josh, I can check that for you. As well to see if you've got a login for it, and we can actually try and get you logged on.
Okay.
So once one of you guys have logged on, so you've done the Addis run or done the EFT run or both, you log on to the Gladstone Drive, and the first place you go is the data folder. So clicking onto data is the first one. After that, the folder's quite self-explanatory. So we've got EFT at the top there. If I click into that file, you'll have if you've done an Audis and EFT, you'll have an AUD.txt file, which is your Audis, and then you'll also have an EFT run. Which we haven't got. So this is somebody's been messing around with this, but they look very similar. But AUD is your Audis run. So what you'll need to do is download it from here. So you use the little download icon on the far right, download it to wherever you want on your hard drive, and then you take that file and upload it, or give it to Lance, and Lance uploads it to the back submission software. Once you've downloaded it, I'd always recommend not opening it. So if I just download this one, just so we can have a look at it. So I'm doing exactly what I'd say not to do. This is what the file looks like. So it's going to have a load of details in there. And with this Audis one, it looks slightly different to an EFT one, which I'll find in a minute. There's a set amount of characters that are in that file. And if you accidentally hit the space bar, drop your pencil on your keyboard and add a character somewhere, any information below that line will get corrupted. So you wouldn't be able to so I just say don't open it, I suppose is the best idea. I'm just going to open up a DD run. Same with open it from there. Same with DD runs. I wouldn't open the file, but I just want to show you what it looks like. So the same applies here. The text that's in here is the instruction to the bank. So there's sort code, account numbers, amounts, a reference in there, name, an account, and a date at the end, the Julian date. So that's all the information that gets sent to the bank. These lines are 106 characters and they can't be any more. So as I was saying before, same applies. Once you've downloaded them as the .text files, then you should be able to upload them in the same way that you have with all of the other files that you've got.
So the one that you've just showed us, is that an example of a EFT?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly that. Yeah. So it's an EFT file. I'll find the download again. Yeah, that's the EFT file that will go through. The Audis looks very similar. It's just shorter.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
So download them, upload them onto the system, and that will go to the bank, and that's how the instructions collected. The files below that. So I've just gone back to the data folder. You've got EFT rejections and EFT rejection histories.
I'm assuming they're not automatically populated, or they are.
The history is, but the rejections isn't. So with the rejections, every day you may get a Audis rejection from the bank. After your direct debit run, so on the 15th, it'll probably get collected on the 17th. Within 3 days of the 17th, you'll get a rejection file back from the bank that goes to your back submission software. You do the reverse, you download it from there and then upload it to this folder here, the EFT rejections. What happens then on your +2? So drag it over.
So rejections come from backs upload to
the Gladstone drive.
Drive
EFT rejections.
EFT. And I'm assuming that then can interpret that text file and extrapolate the data, and then it can be viewed in +2.
Yeah, exactly that. It's not a text file; it's a .xml file, which is slightly different. But yeah, that principle applies. So these files that are in here, these are for our test system, obviously, so it doesn't impact yours. But let's say that you've uploaded these files. +2 automatically looks at this folder, and within your system, in modules, EFT rejections, you've got payment rejections, instruction rejections, and amendments.
And +2 modules, and what was it?
EFT rejections.
Yeah.
The payment rejections are bounced direct debits. So people haven't got enough money in the bank, so they're not being able to collect. You'll get a payment rejection. Instruction rejections, people who have cancelled at the bank and not told you. So they've cancelled the instruction, either via the banking app or gone in and cancelled it. And then amendments, if they've changed the bank and they've not told you. You've got those types of rejections that come back.
So the EFT is the file that comes from the bank that then splits it out into that XML file then splits it out into those three all 4 rejection types.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not 4 individual files. I understand.
Yeah. Well, there probably will be different files because you'll get Audis rejections. You'll get them more often. Whereas your payment rejections will only happen when you've requested the funds. So you'll only get those twice a month, probably on the 4th and then on the 20th-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. So when there's information in here, there'll just be a list of member IDs, names, the reason code. So for rejections, you've got a huge list of reasons. The 3 main ones will be instruction cancelled, no instruction, or refer to payer. So no instruction, it means that the bank haven't got an instruction to pay that.
i.e. there was no edits, requested. Got you.
Yep, that could be a reason. Instruction cancelled, so they've cancelled it at the bank but not told you, so you've tried to collect on the old reference. And then the last one, refer to payer, is there isn't enough money in the bank to cover that direct debit. So they're the 3 main reasons, but there are loads of others as well. So you've got person deceased. We
have no account as well. They're the ones that the
no
bank,
account.
they're not set up to take direct debits.
Yeah, no account. Amount differs on the wrong date, things like that. So there's loads of different reasons, but those 3 sort of main reasons or 4 main reasons will come back. They're the most often. And you'll have the option to tick a little box to say don't process it, which is no action. If you want to process all your rejections, you just click apply and it runs through a set of wizards in the background. And it probably, Julie, you'll know better than me, but it probably changes the status, changes the debt to cash maybe.
Yeah, it does.
Adds a note onto the record, that sort of thing.
So that bit you are really comfortable with, Julie?
Yeah, I know that. That's that. As I say, that's that piece of work I showed you this morning. I've got to work on that, but it does change the status of them, and it puts the debt onto the front screen. It also puts whether or not it's referred to payout, instruction cancelled, no instruction. It puts it on the front screen.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm just going to see if it sends. So have you got the direct debit rejection email set up? It automatically sends an email to your customer when they've not paid.
No, we haven't got that set up. That would be really handy.
Yeah, so that's probably something that.
Do we set that up in Go?
Exactly. Yeah, that's set up in Go. What status does it change people to, Julie?
It keeps their DD in place, but the debt it turns to cash, and then that's on the front screen ready for them to pay.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
So can we get a trigger set up on Go that if someone's account is changed from DD to cash, then that triggers the email?
No, it's the account will still be stayed as DD, but the actual payment that hasn't goes through, it turns to cash. So that's on the front screen.
What would be the trigger for that then in Go, where we could?
So it would be a communication. So the system. So I'm just trying to see how yours are set up. So I'm going to configuration. I don't have access to your wizards, which is weird. So I'm just going to go to financial EFT rejections. So EFT rejections, we've got payment rejections, instruction amendments, the same as the ones we've just seen on that last part. If I double click into there, these are all of the reasons that come back from the bank, and these reasons trigger a number of steps, and one of those steps should be a note that's added onto the member's record. So it would be like ARAD. I can't remember the note, the exact wording, but refer to payer maybe, and that's what Go looks at to trigger the emails. So in order for that to work, we just need to make sure that the wizards are set up for a note to be added onto the record. And it's not hard to do. So it's something that we can add on if it's not on there.
Yeah, that'd be really handy.
I mean, the note is on the front screen when
it does. Excellent.
when the rejections are done. But it would be handy if we could send an email to say that they've not, that their direct debit has not gone through.
Have you got a handy file there with one of your customers that have rejected in the past, recent past?
I've got one here. It is CI00.
I'm just going to log in to 360, so it's easier to see on 360.
Julie, your most hated of platforms.
Oh, do you hate it? Yeah.
Julie prefers +2.
Yeah, +2 is more versatile, but on 360 you're able to see communications and things a little bit easier. What's RIM's CPC?
To be honest, I use that one at my desk and it doesn't have any effect on the tills.
Brilliant. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah.
And then
downloading one.
And then I was going to say, just change it to Office rather than reception. So back on the PC settings, you've got, I think it's, oh, yeah, there you go. It was set to Office, my bad. And then the POS till, is there an Office on there? At the bottom there?
I'm not going to go on the till, so it shouldn't impact that. That's thank you. Okay, so could I just get that ID number, please?
Yeah, it's CIO 51102.
Is that a bank reference?
No, that is their reference. Yeah, that is the bank reference.
Okay. So I'm just going to.
So press CI0 51102.
CI0 11.
No, it's CI0 51102.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
51102. So if I find them on here, so all I want to do is look at the correspondence for this person. Yeah, so they've got the referred to payer at the bottom there, which is great. So that's what would trigger the email for us, this refer to payer note. Yeah. So if I send you, in preparation for this, if I send you 3 templates, could you or whoever needs to authorize the wording for the email for the 3 types of rejection?
Yeah, I can do that. It's fine.
And then we can set those up really, really quickly. I'm just going to quickly go into Go.
Yeah.
So, so what do you want to do? Do you want to do the live run tomorrow when Lance is available? Is that what you'd prefer to do? Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we can do it live, it'd be really handy to see that. So I'll try and pin down a time. When's good for you?
Probably lunchtime-ish is good for me. I'm with a customer tomorrow, but I can sort of jump on at lunch.
Is there any point doing it without doing this audit thing though? Is that what you mean? Maybe I've lost it, but I thought you had to have the audit thing.
We can't do the audit because we don't have enough time for the bank to set it up before the payment run. So there will only be a handful of customers that will be missed, because whether we do the audit now or not, they're still going to get rejected. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So so we could do the audit, but until the next 15th run, it won't be activated. It will just come back as a no account setup.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you need the back submission access to give the AUDIS file to your bank as well. So it'd be the same as the EFT. So you could do that tomorrow as well. So do the EFT, submit that file, do the AUDIS, submit that file, and you're set up then for the next. But you'd want to do that once a week, preferably. So
yeah, because I don't know whether Lance is going to be doing this going forward, or it's going to be brought in-house like Kelly was doing it. Right. So I think I need to find that out as well, because if we don't need to watch him physically uploading it to the bank, then fine. Yeah. But if it's going to get brought in-house, then we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So you've got the EFT rejection email set up. There's just not a job to send them, so I can set those up for you ready for your rejections next week. If you want me to do that.
That would be amazing. Thank you.
So when I'll set them up, obviously, what will happen, so for Julie, probably more than anyone, because you're going to be checking these, Julie, in the correspondence on 360, there'll be an email, like your booking confirmation, but it'll just be your 3 rejection ones. So one of those emails will be sent to the customer. So it works in a similar way.
But yeah, if you can set up the trigger, I can go in under Go and change the wording if need be.
Yep, I'll do that now.
So to do it, it's a schedule a new job, and then I guess you just have triggers.
So these are the triggers, yeah. The email template. If you go to email templates and into those 3 templates and make sure you're happy with the language, then yeah, these will trigger next time you do the rejections.
So it's communication jobs. I wonder how to do this, because we're looking at changing. This is slightly off topic. Changing the way that we monitor people coming into Group X, and then being able to send them an email or some sort of correspondence if they didn't tap in. But I can set up an email template, but I didn't know what the trigger was. But it's under communication jobs, so that makes sense.
So that's changed. So if you set up a job at the minute, it wouldn't do anything because the job that I'm going to set up is hiding in the background, and we're just linking Go to +2. For what you're talking about, though, Gary, you'll be able to do that shortly with what's called Audience Builder. So you'll be able to have specific templates sent out on specific jobs, but it's not quite ready yet. But it is very soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just while I'm on it, I see this is new. Activate SMS.
Yeah, same, exactly the same. So Audience Builder, you've got SMS and emails that you'll be able to use as a communication to your customers.
Awesome.
But I can show you how to set these jobs up so you can know in the future it's on the recording. So I'm going to set up a DD rejection, refer to payer. So giving it a title, then selecting the correct job below. So this one is refer to payer. So they're matching, click next. It's not a one-off job, it's a repeating job, and it's an email that we're going to send. Clicking next, we're going to select the template. So that's the email template that you're going to amend. And then I tell the job when to run. So a bit of a quirk is that I have to add the end date first, because it won't let me change this start date until I do. So I changed the end date first to 2048, December the 31st, so a few years in the future. Then I can set this up to start tomorrow. It's going to run every day, so it'll look for the job every day, and we want it to send once a day. And it's up to you what time of day that your customer gets the email. So it defaults to 9:30, but we can change that earlier or later if you want.
Okay. 9:30 is fine.
Yep, 9:30, and then I'm going to leave it as live and click save, and that's the query set up in the background. And I'll just do the same thing for the other 2 templates. So what will happen? You'll run the rejections when they come in next week. The day after, the email then gets sent. So let's say you did it on Wednesday, your customers will get an email on Thursday morning with the rejection notification.
Yeah, that'd be really handy.
It's going to restriction cancelled. So yeah, just doing the same again. But yeah, sorry, we were saying what time tomorrow you wanted to run the live file.
So Lance is still on away from his. It looks like he's away from his desk.
Okay. But do you want to just
calendar? Can you? I think I could see it.
You can just let me know roughly what time, and I'll schedule a break for that for when you want to do it. Yeah, around lunchtime would be better for me if you can accommodate that. There we go. Okay, those jobs are set up, so they'll initiate now. If you just go through the template and just make sure you're happy with each of those, and update those.
Perfect. So I think the only other things to wrap up.
Access was one.
Is
access to something, wasn't it?
Access to the drive.
That's it. Yeah.
And then while we were on the drive, I said, "Is that automatically populated?" And you said, "No, but this one is."
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So when you're in the EFT rejections, once you've clicked processing +2, then the file will automatically drop to the history file. So just log back in. So this is a little quirk of the Gladstone drive. You can see it's spinning up here. It's still loading in the background. If I click on any of these folders, it'll log me out. So if I wait for that to stop spinning, then it won't kick me out. So if I click on data now,
good to know.
Lets me in. It's frustrating. So yeah, so when you've uploaded the rejections to this folder, you've gone into +2, or Julie's gone into +2, process those rejections. The file will automatically drop into this histories folder then, so you don't have to do anything with it. If there are files in the rejections folder, even if the files from 5 months ago, it will add them to the list, and you'll be able to process them in +2. Generally, with your rejection files, under the BACS rules, you should process any rejections within 3 days of receiving them. So you got it on a Friday, the latest you want to do is the Monday.
Is that what we do, Julie?
It is, but then we also do it throughout the week as well. Yeah. Every couple of days we do it.
Yeah, which is that'd be Audis rejections, which is great. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the only automated bit there. I'm just going to quickly look to see who's got access.
I don't think I have access actually. Sorry, I thought I did. If I have, I haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
Did you give access to the individual, or is it one account kind of for people to share?
It's individuals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Wendy ever get involved in this, Julie?
She can do, but she doesn't normally.
Okay.
But I think JJ wants her to.
Yeah.
So I'll stop the recording because we're just waiting for this to load up now.